Clara had always rolled her eyes at ghost stories, but the photos of the Blackwood lanterns caught her attention. They weren't fireflies or campfires. They were perfect spheres of warm light, suspended in midair, drifting in single file like some strange parade. Every image she found online was blurred, the lanterns smudged into hazy streaks, as if the camera itself had shuddered. She told herself it was bad focus, not magic. Still, the idea of getting a crisp, clear shot itched at her. One October afternoon, she packed her best camera and drove to the trail where the sightings were most common. The forest was quiet, the kind of quiet that felt like it was listening. She hiked until the sun dropped low, and that's when the first light appeared, floating just beyond the bend in the trail. Clara froze, heart thudding, then lifted her camera. The lantern glowed a steady amber. No flame, no string, no explanation. She snapped a photo, then checked the preview. Blurred, like every picture she'd seen online. Frowning, she stepped forward for a better shot. The lantern drifted away, slow and deliberate, as if waiting for her to follow. Another light appeared behind it, then a third, each bobbing gently in the air. Clara's pulse quickened. This was it. Proof. She ignored the prickle crawling up her neck and the sudden drop in temperature. The forest seemed to lean closer around her, trees forming a shadowed corridor. She adjusted her lens, determined to keep the lanterns in frame. Somewhere ahead, a faint sound, like distant voices, threaded through the stillness. Without realizing, she left the trail entirely, chasing the glow. The lanterns led Clara deeper, weaving between narrow gaps in the trees. Her boots sank into moss, the air growing damp and heavy. She stopped to steady her hands, snapping shot after shot, but every image smeared into the same maddening blur. The voices ahead grew clearer. Not words, but a rhythmic murmur, like breathing layered over itself. One lantern dipped low, hovering just above the ground, and Clara knelt instinctively to photograph it. When she looked up again, the trail behind her was gone, swallowed by darkness. More lights bloomed around her now, dozens, circling slowly. They pulsed in unison, drawing her gaze, until her camera slipped from her grasp and landed softly in the moss. The warmth of the nearest lantern brushed her cheek, and her thoughts thinned, like mist in sunlight. By morning, hikers found Clara's camera lying in the undergrowth, its strap tangled in roots. The last image was almost perfect, the lantern sharp and bright, but in the far background. Her figure stood between the trees, face turned toward the light. Search teams combed the area for days, following every ridge and ravine. But there were no footprints beyond a certain point, as if she had simply stepped out of the world. Weeks later, a new photograph surfaced online, a blurry shot from deep in Blackwood, showing the same strange orbs drifting in a line. Behind them, in the haze, was the faint outline of a woman holding a camera. Her head was tilted, eyes fixed on the glow, as the lanterns floated deeper into the dark, and she moved with them.